Kalu blasts Tinubu'S economic claims, says Nigerians are still suffering. We are suffering if it is that one. Senator Orji Kalu has publicly challenged the prevailing optimism surrounding Nigeria's economic reforms, warning that millions of citizens have yet to feel any meaningful improvement in their daily lives despite positive macroeconomic indicators. The former Abia State governor made the remarks on Monday in Sokoto after commissioning a road project executed by Governor Ahmed Ali's administration in the Akila New Layout area. His comment comes amid growing debate over whether President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic reforms are translating into tangible benefits for ordinary Nigerians. While acknowledging improvements in the broader economy, Kalu argued that worsening insecurity and economic hardship have prevented many citizens from experiencing the gains being highlighted by government officials. The senator disclosed that he had personally conveyed his concerns to President Tinubu, drawing attention to what he described as the widening gap between encouraging economic statistics and the realities facing households and small businesses across the country. Things might look difficult today. Yes, as you can see, I'm an industrialist. The macroeconomy is performing well. We share a macroeconomy, but the microeconomy is at a macro and micro. I told the president this, he stated. Kalu insisted that security remains the missing link in Nigeria's economic recovery efforts, arguing that no reform program can succeed when investors, businesses and communities continue to grapple with instability and violence. Well, it's true about that one. What this country needs is economic expansion so that there can be money, prosperity and goodness for Nigerians. This is what the country needs, he said. Despite his criticism, Kalu commended Tinubu for pursuing policies aimed at expanding the economy. However, I maintain that the reforms will continue to attract scrutiny until their benefits become visible at the grassroots level. He expressed confidence that greater investments in security would help unlock economic opportunities, boost prosperity, and ensure that the gains of reforms are felt beyond official economic reports. Kalu also used the occasion to renew his calls for national unity. Nigeria is one, and I will continue to pray and plead for the unity of this country until I die, he said. The senator further praised Governor Ahmed Ali for his infrastructure drive in Sokoto State and thanked him for invitation to commission the road project. Andrew says, to fight insecurity, we must recognize we have porous borderlands. Fulani Daji must be helped to modernize their cattle business. Paul says they will come for you soon. Who is coming for him? Peter says, shameless old thief. What's happen? Nicholas says, let the poor breathe too. I'm telling you, let us breathe. Ametusa says, this thief no let them open register for you. Chicken Man says, they don't dump this mogul. Exactly, his downfall has started, honestly. Ozobu says, please, no one should listen to this man with 7 tongues. Victor said, I said it earlier that Kalu consumes some substance like colors or umburumiri. What was umburumiri? Guys, 5377 says, evil men are only praising themselves while the masses are going through hellish experience. Adriana says, all of them know that nothing is working in Nigeria. Of course they do. They know now. They're just lying and deceiving themselves. John says, they said it to avoid being stoned by northern youths. Oscar says, an industrialist who cannot develop his state for 8 years as the governor of his state, after borrowing and adding the state allocation, now Alex Otti developed the same state in 2 years without borrowing, and things are far more better than then than now. Orji, Kanu, shame on you. Jude says, that's all it is appointed unto man to buy unto death, come judgments. No matter how much you loot, how many politicians and presidents that have died, did they take anything to their grave? Absolutely nothing. Heaven is real, hell is also real. If you maintain love, just love Nigeria. Nigeria will be better than any other countries in the world. Okay? Watson says, the guy, you told us that Tinubu'S wife is a pastor in a Redeemed Christian church and that there will be no insurgency again in Nigeria. Kalu. They believe Kanu. He said, forget that Kalu. Whatever word that comes out of his mouth is 99% lies and 1% doubtful truth. His words cannot be relied upon. As Luke says, Kalu cannot talk straight because they are all beneficiaries of this system. Exactly. Once they started collecting like this, you cannot speak the truth again. You always lie. Okoye say use and dump. Ngozi says for where? Tomorrow you will deny it. People now still finish with this one. Musa says now I want talk true because the election don't dey reach, but you guys say Tinubu is the best. Now only God go see una, wicked people. DCDC says without bringing fuel price down, this economic reform is nonsense. I'm telling you. At Samuel says, Kalu, there is no improvement in the overall economy in Nigeria. It is a cooked story. Government is merely forging data, but it cannot get there. Macro data have to be consistent. It cannot be in conflict with itself. When you have huge external debt, you may surely be deceiving people to say that you have high external reserves. If you do, then write off your debt. How can a debtor of $500 billion be boasting that Ebi is rich because he has $50 million in his account balance? Omiako said, but if the same Kalu come to the southeast, Tinubu has done wonderfully well with his reforms. Old man speaking from both sides of his mouth. Don't believe Kalu too much. Don't really put his words to heart. Livina said the finger wants to bite the hand that fed him. Maazitrude says, don't blame the man, blame yourself and your cohorts. Did you suggest any alternative and you refused? Don't exonerate yourself from whatever goes wrong. Boniface says, Oga, I no go put mask for na matter or na be the same 5 or 6 years ago. Akako says, the man Kalu is a double-faced man. Now they see. He says there's no difference between Tinubu and Orji or Kalu. They are evil men who have vowed to ban Nigerians through hardship inherited from debt, because the public will suffer for every one bill while he is presiding over innocent Nigerians. Johnny says, so you are aware and you still want your party to continue. Don't mind him. Kingsley says, first of all, the geographical expression called Nigeria is never one. It is a pretentious expression. Those that want to leave this contraption should early and why the blackmail waging of war against them. Tinubu alone knows whatever he's doing is zombies. Tinubu idiots can hype him as much as they want. That is their business. Tama just resigned in Britain because he knew that he had failed in areas he should have done well in. But Tinubu and his gang are grandstanding over atrocities. That's one thing I also like about other countries, UK, Tama and whatever. Once you do something bad, it is by themselves that they are going to step down. They will not wait for anybody to tell them to step down. But in this country, if I hear say they step down, well, listen, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.